welcome to the SVG-TV news for Tuesday, October 24th. With the details tonight, I'm Khalil Kato. The annual Independence Schools Rally was held today at the Victoria Park as part of SVG's 44th Independence celebrations, being observed under the theme, Our Resilience, Our Fortitude, Our People, Our Identity, Road to 45. Addressing the ceremony, Chief Education Officer K. Martin Jack said independence is not only a celebration of hard-fought freedom of our ancestors, but a reflection of how far the country has come.
Education has been and always will be at the heart of this journey. It is the cornerstone upon which our dreams and aspirations are built. As we stand on the shoulders of those who fought for our freedom, we are reminded of the critical role education played in shaping our path towards progress and prosperity. Our theme this year, once again, our resilience, our fortitude, our people, our identity, embodies the essence of what makes our nation strong and vibrant. As we stand on the precipice of the road to 45, it is important for you, the youth of our nation, to understand the significance of these qualities in shaping our collective identity. Resilience is the backbone of our nation. Throughout our history, we have faced countless challenges, from the struggle for independence to natural disasters, economic crisis, and pandemics. Yet, every time we have risen above adversity.
Martin Jack added that education is the torchbearer of the Vincentian legacy and will ensure that the country's history be taught to the future generations.
Imbue our children with the values, knowledge, and skills necessary to navigate an ever-changing world. It is through education that we ensure our history is not forgotten, but rather used as a compass to guide us forward. As we mark this milestone, we must also acknowledge that we are entrusted with a duty to pass the baton of knowledge, wisdom, and opportunity to the generations that follow. This is our legacy, and it is a responsibility that we cannot take lightly. We must invest in our educational institutions, ensuring they have the resources, tools, and technology needed to provide a world-class education for every child, regardless of their background or circumstances. We must empower our educators, recognizing them as the unsung heroes who shape the minds and hearts of our future leaders, innovators, and change makers.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Michael Burke, who was reading a speech from Education Minister Curtis King, noted the challenges faced throughout history and encouraged the students to take their education seriously.
To embrace resilience in your studies, for it is through challenges and setbacks that one grows and learns the most. In our classroom, let us embrace fortitude, which is the spirit of determination and perseverance. For it is through education that we empower ourselves to overcome obstacles and shape our destinies. Education, dear students, is the foundation on which we build a better and brighter future. As the Minister of Education, I encourage you to embrace your education with enthusiasm and dedication. Let us also remember the critical importance of unity and working together as one people. Remember always that our collective strength is far greater than the sum of our individual parts. We must therefore continue to strengthen our work together, support each other, and celebrate our shared identity. If we do so, we'll find that there is no challenge, natural or man-made, that we cannot overcome.
At the rally, 26 students who will be pursuing university education received national scholarships. The most outstanding of the national scholars, Elzico Dibik and David Dunn, received the Prime Minister's gold medal and a cash prize of $20,000 in addition to the 5-year national scholarship. In his address at the ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves noted the number of scholarships handed out this year is the largest amount ever given out in any year.
Last year was 21. These scholarships are assessed on the basis of the results of the CAPE examination and the associate degree. In fact, we had two persons, well, one person, sorry, who has an associate degree and who got a near perfect GPA, and she got one of the scholarships. These scholarships are for 5 years, valued at a maximum of $600,000 each. If you do its benchmark against the most expensive degree done at the University of the West Indies, the medical degree for 5 years, which in Barbados is $600,000. If you want to go to another university where it's $750,000, well, you pay the difference, because that's why it's benchmark.
Prime Minister Gonsalves said the young people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue to make a positive impact on the country.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines are overwhelmingly extremely disciplined and productive and doing magnificent work in all fields of endeavor, including sporting and artistic and cultural. You have a tiny minority of persons who try to undermine our order and our discipline. And I want to urge them that there are opportunities galore. Take advantage of the opportunities. And in the communities, I want you to listen to your elders and your parents and those in your churches and get involved in worthy organizations and put yourself on a path so that you can go to a productive life. I love you very much. You are daily in my heart and in my prayers. You are one of the reasons that I am in politics, to see you do well.
66 awards in all were presented at the Independence Rally to graduates of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College who excelled in the 2023 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, CAPE, as well as the Associate Degree and Teacher Education programs. And over 20 activities are taking place across St. Vincent and the Grenadines this month as part of National Independence celebrations. On NBC Radio's Talk Your Talk program today, Development and Marketing Officer of the Carnival Development Corporation, Esbert Roberts, highlighted several of the events taking place as part of the Independence celebration activities, which the CDC helps to coordinate.
We have reintroduced the Best Village competition, just to say that this year we have 3 things on the calendar that were not there prior. Well, in the case of the Best Village, wasn't there for a number of years. It was something done previously and it had stopped. Now we have reintroduced Best Village competition, and the response was quite good. Despite the decision to go ahead with the Best Village competition came pretty late, the response has been tremendous. We have had 13 areas registering within a quick time. I think yesterday I was informed that two of them had dropped out, but the others are in and they are being judged. The judging started yesterday, they will continue today and tomorrow. We have included in that also Beckway. We had a registration from Beckway. And then we have a number of activities taking place with the bikers and the motorsports activities. They are having events at the Arnesville, at the E.T. Joshua Tarmac, and also in other areas throughout St. Vincent. We have the Invest SVG Expo will be starting on Thursday 26th and we run until the 29th of October, Sunday 29th. And we have, of course, on Independence Day, the military parade at Victoria Park. Continuation of the Invest SVG Expo. We have the Madongo Festival taking place at Rabaka. And we have in Union Island Motorboat Regatta. We also have Vincy Heath playing a soccer match in Arnesville. That's a female CONCACAF game. And we have the Miss SVG Plus Size Universe being held on the 27th of October, Independence Day. And activities continue throughout the rest of the month as well. Okay, so that's a quick shot at. We have a lot more activities, but I just mentioned a few, right?
Some of the
Robert said the activities are aimed at bringing people together in the various communities.
Intention is to have persons from, the communities come out, leave your homes. We see within recent times a lot of persons have been going home and they're just on their gadgets, are they looking at television and so on, and we are lacking that social interaction. And this certainly would be an opportunity for us to come out and socialize individually amongst persons within the area. If you choose to come from another area, it's all about human interaction and opportunities for persons to play sports and to be entertained. Really broad-based. It's an opportunity because I mentioned the disconnect early on with persons within the society now into their phones and the gadgets and the television and the internet and everything. But there's also a disconnect with communication between young and the old, or the young and the not so old, however you want to put it.
mature youths.
And yes, feel free to come and choose with any area that you want to be at. Feel free to do so and share in the interaction. Our theme again of resilience or fortitude, our people, our identity, road to 45 as we look forward to the 45th anniversary celebrations.
The Prime Ministerial Advisory Council on Youth was launched last evening at the Methodist Church Hall under the theme Balancing Experience with Youth. Chair of the Prime Ministerial Council, Anson Lachman, said the council was established on September 13th and has the mandate of advising on policy matters, projects, programs, and advocating for youth involvement in the decision-making process of the government.
The council boasts of a core committee comprising of highly qualified and educated cadre of youth that is ably assisted by many sectoral chairpersons. The council has commenced work. Some members got the opportunity to meet with UNICEF representatives, and a conversation of potential collaboration has begun. A website and social media pages are presently under construction. Indeed, there's power in the youth. Further, more youths will be involved in the council, as the sectoral groups will require additional support to ensure that the government is soundly advised. As we celebrate 44 years of independence, we are out to build a new St. Vincent. This Youth Council will balance experience and youth, as we are well poised to leverage a platform set by the government to develop a many-sided, sustainable and resilient nation.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister and advisor to the Prime Ministerial Youth Council, Senator Shakel Bob, said youth are the future who carry a great weight and are significant in today's society. She said the initiative of the Prime Ministerial Youth Advisory Council is one of great significance to the youths of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I must commend the Prime Minister and by extension the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for this initiative and for the opportunities that I am positive will be made available to our youths here in St. Vincent in effecting change. This is a significant step in our country and for the diversification of governance in our country. I always say that young persons need to be advocates. It's not because I'm a lawyer, but it's simply because we must know where we stand when issues arise. We must have a position, and when a platform arises for us to voice that opinion on that issue, we must have something to say. We should not shy away or hide in the shadows, as is customarily done here in St. Vincent. Social media has kidnapped the minds of our youths here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A lot of us have the capability to make a positive impact through advocacy and action, but We stand by the wayside and we watch our elders do it. But it is indeed time for us to take charge, to get involved, and to be role models and leaders for the upcoming youths of tomorrow. A lot of us have the capability, but we do not know, or sometimes we do not feel the support that is coming from the other persons who may be looking on. And one major factor that is often overlooked in youth engagement is youth empowerment. This is why the Council will focus on the key aspect of youth empowerment on a whole and the empowerment of voices of our youth. Our aim is to be successful. It is not going to be a rushed process. As such, we intend to create a solid foundation by tackling foundational issues such as the aforementioned. After all, a structure is only as strong as its foundation.
Minister with responsibility for the youth, Dr. Orlando Brewster, said the history of the country has been rich with organizations that are youth-based, impacting the lives of many Vincentians. However, many of these organizations have been tried and tested, and while some have flourished, others have disappeared over the years.
To build and to continue the development of our blessed country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When I was elected in 2020, sitting in the cabinet, young boy, bright eye, bushy tail, ready to take on whatever may come my way. I was the youngest at that point in time, but soon after, we had the introduction of KMP, Kisel Minister Peters. We also had coming on board Senator Benava Brown, Minister Benava Brown. We had again Senator Shaquille Bob. As the Minister of Gender, you know, I'm still searching for equality there. But nonetheless, I know it's coming. And you know, because I was young, there is one thing that I've learned over the past 3 years. Going in 2020, my beards were a little black, but now they're changing to a unique color. But I was happy that I had coming into the cabinet young persons, and we formulated a bond immediately, and they can testify about that. But what is important is that the reflection of the cabinet captures our theme, balancing experience with youth. And I can boast a little bit here because we have an esteemed Prime Minister who will go to the length and breadth to make sure that there are youths included in various aspects of this country.
Delivering the feature address at the launch ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves noted the importance of putting in place leadership for the country, not only now, but into the second half of the 21st century. Noting that the 2012 census shows that the youth population from birth to 35 stands at nearly 63,000, or just over 56% of the total population of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with active youths from 15 to 35 amounting to just over 36,000, or about 1/3 of the total population. Prime Minister Gonsalves said this is a very important grouping, stressing, however, that while the country has a young population, people are living longer, which has certain implications on the way society goes forward. He said this makes it even more important to have the young people involved in governance and other areas of life, living and production in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
If you were to look at the program, and you will see, we'll speak to it, you'd see that there's a core committee and they're chairpersons of sectoral groups. There are 18 sectoral groups and 11 members of the core committee. The sectoral groups will have 11, 13 members each. We haven't selected them all. There are some names which have come forward. But we want the chairpersons in those groups. For instance, Crystal Oliver is
the chair of the sectoral group for creative industries. She has to help us find a number of other persons in that group to make up your group so that you can be advising the council itself and through the council, the government and the Prime Minister. So really what we have here, already we have 29 persons, the core committee and the chairpersons of the sectoral group, but there are 18 sectoral groups. So if you're having 11 persons in each of those 18, you notice that we are having a number overall as an assembly, whenever that body meets, in the region of 200 persons, 200 young persons, all children of the education revolution. This represents a formidable intellectual, professional, social, and political force for the good of this country.
Early in his administration, they have established a wider grouping, the National Economic and Social Development Council, NESDEC, which was an advisory body that functioned pretty well, but over time, the work of the council was reduced in its significance. Prime Minister Gonzalez noted that it is not an easy business to do voluntary work, and that with the Prime Ministerial Youth Council, they have to ensure that they learn from the experience of NESDEC so that the Youth Council be kept by being sufficiently resourced or funded.
And that is why for the year 2023, I've told Anderson already I want to see a work program and I want to see a budget so we can put the money in the budget, have it debated in Parliament and allocated so that we can, if this body is of importance, we have to ensure that it is reasonably well resourced. By some pure coincidence, the work of this organization, this advisory council, would probably be very active and very sustainable because of the number of women that we have to drive Anson and everybody else. So but it's interesting. And this heavenly condition of youth has to be fashioned, molded, utilized for your own benefit, that of your family, that of your spouse, your partner, for your community, and for your country. It is important for us to remember the question of solidarity. And this is something which the young people, all of us, have to be focused on. Well, you can't have a society just consisting just of individuals. Individuals have to be in solidarity with one another to have a society. That's why you have social individuals. And I will say this is something which I've been pondering on this matter for decades. How do we build, how do we engender on an ongoing basis solidarity? You have to have your own individualism, but you have to be in solidarity with others to achieve anything.
The Prime Ministerial Youth Council is led by Anson Latchman and includes Deputy Chair Rodney Small, Parliamentary Secretary Advisor Shaquille Bob, Secretary Ruth Ann Williams, committee members Shaquille Simmons, Orica McKenzie, Debron Burke, Kwesi Allen, Augustine Ferdinand, and Chrisanne Mofford. 2 green entrepreneurs from St. Vincent and the Grenadines are among 8 business owners selected under the Eastern Caribbean Green Entrepreneurship Initiative to participate in a 1-week study exchange to Doha, Qatar. The Vincentian entrepreneurs are Gordon Shallow, owner of the Plant Doctor, and Mr. Ricardo Boson, owner of solar service company Sol Life Inc. Shallow was the winner of the best video pitch and recipient of $10,000 seed grant funding in cohort 2 of the Eastern Caribbean Greenpreneurs Incubator Program, which concluded in May of this year. Mr. Boson is one of only 2 entrepreneurs to be awarded an interest-free loan under the Eastern Caribbean Greenpreneurs Accelerator Program. The greenpreneurs are scheduled to visit Qatar from October 26 and return on November 3rd. A news release from the Center for Enterprise Development, CED, said the main objective of the study exchange visit is to provide new perspectives, showcase green innovation and ideas, and to share knowledge and experiences across green businesses from Qatar, the Pacific, and the Caribbean regions. The CED news release said the exchange visit to Qatar would provide a unique opportunity for the greenpreneurs to connect with each other, in addition to networking with relevant market actors from Qatar to exchange knowledge and inspire their fellow green entrepreneurs from the respective countries to reach new heights. The business owners will be accompanied by Dr. Kristen Deason and Laura John from the Caribbean office of the Global Green Growth Institute, GGGI. The Eastern Caribbean Entrepreneurship Initiative is funded by the Qatar Fund for Development, QFFD, and is being implemented by GGGI in partnership with the OECS Commission and business support organizations, BSOs, throughout the OECS. The Center for Enterprise Development, Inc. is the partner BSO for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.